Catherine sat quietly in her car after finishing her call with Pedro, her mind already churning through the layers of power, loyalty, and hidden truths that shaped her world. News had surfaced of a mysterious development in Willspoon, something significant enough to send her mother Clarissa traveling in haste. Though the details were still unclear, Pedro suspected it had something to do with the long lost assistant of Catherine's aunt, the previous head of the Farrell family. For decades, this assistant had vanished without a trace after the sudden and suspicious deaths of Catherine's aunt and younger aunt. But now, faint signs indicated that someone in Willspoon might have found him. She understood immediately what such a discovery could mean. If the assistant were alive, and if he held knowledge about events from decades ago, the truth that had been buried for years was about to surface. The prospect stirred conflicting emotions within her. She desperately wished that her aunt and younger aunt had died by accident, not through her mother's hand. If the truth revealed otherwise, Catherine would face a painful reality. Her own mother might be responsible for the deaths of her relatives, including Liberty's grandmother. And if that were true, she could no longer claim any right to the Farrell family inheritance. She had already vowed that if Clarissa were proven guilty, she would return everything to her aunt's descendants and willingly step aside. Yet, even as she held firm to her principles, she knew the situation was fraught with danger. Liberty, now her rival for the Farrell family leadership, had every reason to remain cautious. Catherine understood that trust between them could only go so far. Their growing connection and mutual respect grew from the fact that Catherine had not been raised by the Farrells and had not adopted their ruthless family habits. Still, Liberty could never fully trust her, nor should she. Catherine accepted this truth, even as she wished circumstances were different. Her thoughts drifted to the troubled environment she had been thrust into. In the 2 years since returning to her biological family, she had never felt true belonging within the Farrell household. Power struggles, hidden vendettas, and suspicion hung thick in the air. Yet, even outside the family, in the business world she had built for herself, she faced similar battles. Rising to prominence had required fierce competition, strategy, and tough decisions, often at the expense of small companies that couldn't withstand the pressure. Success always carried a price. Despite this, Catherine had forged her own sense of morality. She understood ambition, but she did not desire bloodshed. She wanted fairness and clarity, even if that meant surrendering the legacy she had once fought for. Meanwhile, Pedro wrestled with a different fear. If the assistant reappeared and confirmed Clarissa's guilt, the powerful families of Wilspoon, especially Audrey Stone and the Yorks, would demand justice for their parents and grandmother. He feared that Catherine might become collateral damage simply for being Clarissa's daughter. Though Catherine insisted they would not harm her, Pedro could not ignore the possibility of revenge. Quietly and without her permission, he began planning a retreat path for her, a way to escape Jensburg if the situation escalated. Pedro's loyalty ran deeper than duty. From the moment he had been assigned to Catherine, he had pledged himself to her completely, even if she never realized the depth of his devotion. In his private hopes, he imagined a life where Catherine escaped the suffocating world of the Farrells, where the two of them could build a peaceful, ordinary life, far from the family's dark legacy. But he kept such dreams hidden, knowing they were selfish fantasies. As Catherine prepared to visit Liberty before nightfall, she brushed aside Pedro's concerns for her safety. Jensburg was her territory, and she believed firmly that nothing would happen to her. Winter evenings descended quickly, and the sky was already dimming as she drove toward the outskirts of the city where Liberty waited. Even as Catherine headed confidently into the night, the storm of truth, betrayal, and long hidden secrets loomed closer. She sensed that the future of the Farrell family, and her own fate within it, was nearing a decisive turning point.